What up, everyone? Welcome to the first episode of Just Listen with Dre. Now, I decided to do this one solo pod, because there's sometimes when we do the Gamerish Network podcast, which will return soon. Don't worry for those clamoring for those. We just got to get a new schedule and everything. Everyone's got new jobs and all. So that's the reason me, Felice, and Mad King haven't been able to get together lately, but we're working on it. I promise you that's coming back. But this pod is, things that I have to get off my chest, things that you guys might have heard me rant about on former podcasts, and now I could just express it all without having to anyone to go back against me. And sometimes I might even have a guest on here if anybody wants to come and give their thoughts and opinions on anything I have to talk about. You could definitely come on and we could do it together, but this is a pod for you guys to just hear me out. Listen to why I'm ranting. Listen to me explaining to you guys why I have this stuff on my mind and why it is that I feel certain ways about certain things. And for this first episode, the first topic is my top 5 reasons why I hate game delays. Now, I know there's stuff like crunch, and we don't like that. I know we don't like that, and people say, yes, we should get it because we'll get a better product and blah, 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 because sometimes we don't get a better product. And when games are delayed, you guys complain or you celebrate it. But when they're released on time, you still find a reason to complain or celebrate, But a lot of people nowadays just like to complain more than they celebrate what we get. And so I kind of find it annoying that people can never just stay in one lane. Yes, there are some of you out there that stay in one lane and you like the game delays and you believe that we're going to get a great game just because something's got delayed, even though something like Cyberpunk got delayed like 5 times and we still got what a lot of people called garbage. It was fine for me because I was playing on Stadia, and those who really know Stadia and PC didn't have much problems. So, it sucks for those who couldn't get a next-gen console or don't have a high-end PC that you couldn't get a good version of that game. But, people listen to what they see on the internet nowadays. No one has an opinion of their own. They see what most people are clamoring about, and people need that validity. People want to feel like they're part of something. This is where I want to separate myself, because I have my own thoughts and I have my own things that I like to say about certain topics, and I'm not the type of person that sits there, reads what's on the internet, and feels like I have to have everyone agree with what I'm saying. So a lot of things that I'm going to say right now or my reason you might not agree with, some people will agree with, so hey, if you got anything to say, also, you can always drop it in the comments. I don't mind, as long as it's going to be a sensible conversation. If you come with some BS or some type of attack or something, I'm just going to ignore you or delete your comment in this video. But if you have something that actually makes sense, and you're actually have something a legitimate way to respond to something I said today or in this pod, I will definitely respond to you. So always feel free to drop a comment. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, share. Anybody that you think would be interested in all of this. Even if you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, we'll appreciate the like, the subscribe, the love. Just tap those buttons. But here's my number 5, and I'll get this one out the way first. Number 5, I'm impatient. I should preference this with I am a hardcore gamer. And by hardcore gamer, I mean I'm a fucking gaming addict. And by gaming addict, I mean that I literally, no matter how much money I have in the bank, will buy between 1 to probably up to 4 games a week. And no, I'm not lying. You can ask anyone that knows me. Join the Gamerish Network Facebook page and ask anyone. I will go to the bar every night and talk about all the new games that I just bought during the day, even though something else just came out that I bought the day before and I'm still working on. So imagine that. Yes, my backlog is fucking insane. And one day, I promise, one day I will find time to finish all these games. But until then, I'm going to enjoy the fact that I could still go out there and experience all these new adventures and things, and this source of entertainment that just completes my life. You know, and if I say that isn't all I'll do. Yes, I have a job. Yes, I still find time to go out. Yes, I have a family to raise 3 kids who are very lucky that they don't have to ask their dad for freaking video games, and a wife that's very supportive of my good or bad habits, depending on who you ask. But I like getting my games. I don't like it when a company gives us a date and then delays it. Maybe 1 delay I could deal with, but 2, 3 delays and giving me the same excuses all the time about the whole polish thing, because we hear this coming out of everyone's camp. And like, how much polish? Because I remember the last delay you guys gave us said something about polish too, and the delay before that said something about polish as well. So, you know, that's the quick one I want to get out the way. Number 5, that I'm just impatient. I can't wait too long. If I was told I'm to get something, I'm the type of guy that's to get. If I say I'm going out to get something, if I'm getting something on this day, I could look at a new computer in a magazine today, say I want it, and I'm going to buy it the same day. I'm just that type of guy. I don't wait. You know, like I just have that type of reflex with my mind. I have to get what I want when I want it. You know? Yes, and I know everyone's not the same. Number 4, no matter if a game is delayed or out on time, there will always be day 1 patches and multiple updates. Now, we're seeing this with not just Cyberpunk, we've seen this with all our games. Every single game we're playing in this day and age has patches, because there's always going to be bugs. You know, no matter how many times they delay, there's something that they forgot or I missed out on. So I don't want to hear that the game is going to be better, it's going to be any perfect. There's always a big ass patch the day we get a game, you know, unless you're on Stadia. Sorry for shouting them out again, because you don't have to deal with fucking patches on Stadia, you know, which I definitely love. You know, Far Cry, got that, no patches. Cyberpunk, no patches. You know, everything is just put into the game with no problems over the cloud. But yeah, so for everyone to think that when a game gets delayed it's going to be perfect when it comes out, no, it's still not even freaking complete. All right, so that's my number 4. And I'm going to try to make these pods quick, because I know a lot of people don't want to hear me bitching and moaning for a long time. So that's why I'm trying to go through this. And like I said, if you have any comments, always feel free to leave it there in the comments section and let me know. You know, number 3, and I don't want anyone to feel any type of way about this, but like I said, a lot of people pretend like they do a lot of things because the internet is a place where people could be whoever they want to be, and no one really knows who you are, because all we know is you based on what you type or write or want someone to agree with or want to argue with someone about something. But my number 3 reason I hate game delays is that most of you people that clamor for these delays or celebrate these damn delays barely buy these games on day 1. It's like it's you know, and it's kind of annoying, because like you say, oh yeah, thank God it got delayed, now I have enough time to play this game on this day. Yes, there are some of you that would buy it on day 1. You have games that you're trying to finish, and you'd rather not have this game when it comes out because you have something to finish. But that's you. That's on you if you couldn't finish that game in a certain amount of time. Just because you can't figure out when to finish a game, just like myself, doesn't mean I want another game to be delayed for my sake. You know, like, I'd rather the damn game come out, I buy it, and then fuck it, I play it and add it to the backlog if I have to. A lot of people come out there, they're like, oh, it was great, we're gonna bet a great game, and then when the game comes, and this is from personal experience, I'll ask the same people that was celebrating these games, oh, so this thing came out today, did you buy? Oh no, I'm waiting for it to get discounted. Okay, so then the delay did nothing for you anyway. Why? Because by time you fucking buy the damn game, the game is going to be patched and updated and all that shit. And yes, it's going to look like the damn delay did something for you. But no, those of us that played the day 1 had to deal with the discrepancies or whatever was wrong or wasn't wrong, because not all games are created equal. You know, but if I feel like if you're the type of person that doesn't buy things on day one anyway, you shouldn't have anything to say about games being delayed or celebrating it, because you wasn't getting the goddamn game on day one anyway. You were gonna wait till Christmas time or fucking Thanksgiving, Black Friday to get it on a discount and things like that. So I think, like, if you're not the type of person that buys games right away, then you have nothing to worry about, because all the kinks are gonna be done and fixed by time you finally could get the damn game. So stay out of the fucking conversation. I really wish I could find a group out there on Facebook or wherever that says we love buying games day one, or day one buyers group only. And, and it's full of people that sit there, and yes, we could bitch and complain because we bought the game on day one, which I don't really bitch and complain. I'll bitch and complain if a game is whack, when it comes out after all the hype it had, but I'm not going to bitch and complain and say, oh, it's because they didn't take more time to make it, because these developers have plenty of time to make their games, and it's not their fault that they announced these shits way too early, like Cyberpunk getting announced like over 10 years ago and shit, and taking so damn long to come out. But it's a hype train, we get caught up in this image of what games are supposed to be and perfection. And I understand those who only buy maybe 2 or 3 games a year, and you're like, okay, if I'm gonna spend this $60 because I can't afford to spend this on something else, this is that game I want, and you buy that game day one and it's a piece of crap, you have every right to be angry. But if you're the type that waits for fucking games to go in the fucking bargain bin after they come out, then you really have no say on whether a game comes out on time or gets delayed, because even if it gets delayed 20 times, when it comes out, you will not buy it. Okay? That's it. Number 2, and I think this is a very important point to preference right here. If a developer puts a game out early and slap early access on it or beta, no one bats an eye. People put comments, they say things you could fix, and maybe every game should probably do this. Maybe this will solve the fucking problem. If they put early access on it, no one says shit. A la Fortnite, which been in fucking early access for like fucking 4 years before they call it a full game, even though they was making fucking millions off of that damn game in early access. No one said shit other than, oh, this is the kids' version of Call of Duty and all that crap. But you all was still playing it. Why? Because it was free, and you couldn't say nothing wrong about something that is free, right? But as soon as they started coming out with battle passes, that's when everyone had something to say, because now if they wanted extra shit, they had to spend money, or kids were just playing better. I could admit that my son is better than me in fucking Fortnite, and I have no problem with that. That's his thing. I'm glad I'm raising gamer kids, so it's whatever. But yes, early access we had for Valheim, and people were loving that game. It's early access. It's not a complete game, guys, but you all loved it and we raved about it. We have shit like Gloomhaven out there. People are loving, and there's so much shit out there. What, PUBG, when it was in early access, you were loving it. Fucking 7 Days to Die on PC, not console, because the console game is shit compared to the fully fleshed out PC version, which was still in early access. People love. So I don't want to hear nothing about when a game comes out early and janky, that it's always bad, because if we put early access on it, the people that spend money on the early access always seem to just look for all the good. I don't know if it's a way of you telling yourself that, hey, I made this purchase before the game is released, let me look for all the good things that are in it or whatever. But as soon as we put early access on a game, no one bats an eye. If No Man's Sky came out and put early access on it, it would have been no problem, guaranteed. Because look at where No Man's Sky is today, and people would just kept raving it with every update that came out. I'm pretty sure those Steam reviews would have got very positive, very went from bad to good to very positive. Look at where No Man's Sky is now, and that game came out on time, and it's going very positive on Steam right now, and I'm pretty sure the Metacritic scores have gone up there, which goes back to my number 4 point of games. No matter when they come out, we'll have patches and multiple updates. You know, Marvel's Avengers is one, came out on time. No, it even got delayed once, but when it came out, people hated on it and stuff like that because it wasn't the way you wanted it to be. You know, but I found fun in it, and I thought the game was going to be a failure, but I'm one of those people that actually give games a fucking chance. You know, albeit, yes, I'm in the 1% of people that could buy whatever game comes out whenever he feels like it. You know, and that's not a knock on you. That's just me. You know, yes, some would say I waste a lot of money. I say I'm just exploring my passion. Video games is where it's at. You know, but so if just start thinking like this. If you're going to start bringing all that negative energy, bring it towards the games of early access too, not the games that come out, don't put early access on it, and then need updates to get even better. Why don't you guys do the same thing you do for early access games? You get on the forums, you get in the reviews, you talk to the developers like Steam lets you do, write down your little notes and all that, or even on Oculus Quest and all that. Like, look at all the Oculus Quest games. I can see VR games on Oculus Quest. I've never seen so many games get so many updates as much as I see VR games go and get them. And all I see is stellar reviews for mostly all the VR games. But do you guys know? No, because not a lot of people are playing on VR. But if you play on it, there's a lot of games that they don't even slap early access on it. The game comes out and then the developer puts some type of note underneath it talking about that the game will get better over time. And then all of a sudden, there's not one negative review, maybe one. But there's the good always seems to outweigh the bad when it comes to these games on VR. And I think it's just like people need to start limiting their expectations on some of these games. Yes, I know there's some of you that just rather the games not be pushed back due to crunch. And I know that's just a thing now that everyone's on. You know, it's just the way society's going. It's not just crunch. We know it's bad when people have to keep working 24/7. Yes, we don't want that. But there are some companies that people aren't crunching and they're still delaying games. You know, they're still delaying the damn games. So I don't want to hear the whole, at least they don't want to have, when people say, at least they want to not crunch them. Those are you that I feel like, you know, like you're just saying what everybody else is saying, which is, like I said earlier, it's the world we live in today. Everybody wants to be part of the crowd. No one's a real individual anymore. Like, everyone just goes, they look in the comment section, they say, okay, these people are talking negative, let me add a negative comment. Oh, these people are talking positive, let me add a positive comment so that way I get likes, because that's the world we live in, where everyone needs to feel comfortable around everybody else around them. So, you know, just keep that same energy that you guys keep for early access games, you know, because just think of if they would have slapped out Cyberpunk and said, you know what, if they would have said, you know what, no, we didn't finish this game. This game needs patching. We're going to give it for early access because we don't want you guys to wait any longer. This is not a finished product. Please just bear with us and play this game as it is before the full patch comes out for PS5 and Series X and PC, what we're supposed to begin, which they're still working on right now, hopefully. But if they put that shit out as an early access, guarantee the backlash would not have been the same as it was when they just released that game, even though the developers said that they didn't want to release it then. But if the people above them, the men upstairs, were smart, they would have told them, CD Projekt Red, to slap early access on that bitch and put it out there, and no one would bat a fucking eye if they were smart, you know. But that's just me. Last but not least, you know, this don't go for everybody else, because I know everyone likes to think that we're all going to die when we're like 80, 90, 100 years old. And if you're hearing sirens in the background right now, I apologize. I live in East New York. That kind of happens a lot. But My number one reason for games getting pushed, not games that get pushed like a month or two, but games that get pushed like another year or another 2 years or just disappear out of nowhere. My number one reason why I like getting games when they're promised is my mortality. And I preface that by saying because like I said, a lot of you think you're going to live forever and you'll get to see all this shit when they come out. But for all you know, this could be the last time I'm ever talking on a fucking mic right now. You know, I could step outside, and not to sound all grim, but I could step outside and something bad could happen to me and you guys might never hear from me again. And for some of you listening right now, probably pissed off. You're like, that will be a good thing, you know, but for others, it will be very sad because there's a lot of people that will miss me at home and at the bar, you know, which is my second home. I'm not ashamed to say, you know, but yes, we're not all going to live forever, people, you know, like, and a game gets delayed another year. We all assume, oh, it's just another year, but we're all not guaranteed tomorrow. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We are not immortal. So if I know that next week a game is supposed to come out and I live to that day, I'm hype about it, I would love to see that game come out and play it because like I guess I think differently than other people, but yes, if a game comes out and it's ultra whack, I'm gonna come out and say it's ultra whack. Usually I could see these things before they come out. I'm usually very good at predicting a good game and what's going to be a bad game, even though I'm still the same guy that would die on the hill of how great Dynasty Warriors games are, except for 9. 9 was a piece of shit, but I'll still buy it, you know. But yes, I just, as long as I'm living and breathing on this earth, I would like to know that when people promise me things at a certain time and place, and we could get it then and there, you know, like, because I'm afraid we're gonna get to this point where people keep celebrating these delays and developers are gonna think it's okay, even if they're not crunching to do it, because they could tell us that they're doing it to avoid crunch, but we don't know that. It's like telling the damn teacher the dog ate your homework. The teacher doesn't know that, and we don't get no second chances on that damn homework. We get zeros. Like, we can't do this at our job. Can I go to work and tell my boss tomorrow that, you know what, I'm going home. You know, I just don't feel like I'm ready to work today. You know, I'll come back when I'm ready. We can't do that shit in real life. We cannot do that shit in real life because you're going to lose money, which some of them do. And it's just not logical to our bosses who hire us, and our bosses have every right to fire us if we say we can't if we constantly say, oh, I'm not ready for work, or I can't wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I'm sorry, kids. I don't feel like being your dad today. You know, like, I know you were expecting your dad today, but I feel like I've been a dad for too long. Let me just not be a dad for today. We can't do that shit. And you know, it's just like, if we hold some of these companies accountable, you know, like if they give us certain reasoning, and I don't want the same bullshit polish, and this is because you had time to polish the last 30 times you told us about the damn game and you saw our damn reactions. Like, I wish people would just be more honest, because all these companies give us the same excuses. They give us the same polish excuse. They give us the same crunch excuse because they give us the stuff and they say all the things that they know we've been clamoring on the internet about. And if you guys think for 1 second that there is some guy upstairs with them that say, just tell them this, just tell them that, then you're being very naive about the situation, because these people still have jobs. And their job is to make these games. They're to get it to us at the time that they said they were going to get it to us. And like I said, I'm not getting at the people that were forced to rush games. You know, I'm just getting at the developers that have the time, the ones that had many, many years. And no, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know what it's like during game development, but I do know that there's a certain honor to delivering on your promises, because back in the days before social media, we were able to deal with games the way they were put out. And a lot of you, like, you know, gosh, I don't even want to go into another rant, but another thing that irritates me is the whole way we treat Nintendo compared to games coming out on the Xbox and PlayStation now. Nintendo recently gave us that Mario collection with no updates or anything to any of those damn games, or maybe one minor update after people were bitching about something. And we just sit there and take it because they're Nintendo. And you know what the thing is? Nintendo trained your minds to just put up with whatever crap they deliver to us. We deserved remasters of Sunshine, of Mario 64, of Mario Galaxy, but they gave us the same exact game, and they said this is going to be on a timed release, and we all bought it up. And I have that shit, and it's still wrapped in plastic. Why? Because Nintendo trained us that they're always the golden child. No matter if they're behind in technology, no matter if they're going to keep re-releasing the same shit over and over again, no matter if they take 15 years for Metroid to come out, no matter if they delay Zelda like 10 times, even though this is the first time I think they've ever delayed a Zelda game, the Breath of the Wild 2, which was supposed to just be an expansion. So if you just let it out as an expansion, then we would have gotten the game out already. But we need to start holding Nintendo to the same standards that we're holding Microsoft and Sony. People, please stop letting Nintendo get away with the bullshit, because we let them get away with a lot of bullshit, But yeah, that's my rant for today. I hope that a lot of you enjoyed this. I know some are probably going to be triggered. Many are probably going to be triggered more than they enjoy this, but I'm glad that I got you to listen. So until next time, guys, you guys know the phrase. And of course, like I said, if you have any nice comments or anything that you have to say to, contribute to this in the comment section, go ahead, drop it, and please like, subscribe wherever you're listening at. And as usual, guys, enjoy your drinks, enjoy your games. Peace out.